Faith, family, country, those are the things that matter. I never cared about making headlines. Wanted to make history.
I need to know if I can trust you.
I tend to be attracted to characters that are about deception, that are able to compartmentalize, to live one kind of life on the outside and actually be living this very other kind of interior life. You gotta have a Chris Cooper in order to pull something like that off.
There was actually two takes before that I liked a lot too. We were a little closer to camera.
In Hanson's case, there's a whole opposite world that he's living in. You know why the Soviet Empire collapsed?
Good morning.
Godlessness.
When I was thinking about who should play Hanson, the litmus test that I was applying was, who would I not want to have thinking of me as an idiot? And Chris Cooper was pretty high on that list. What you want is someone who can walk into an office, meet Eric for the very first time, and communicate without a word. I see right through you, stay out of my way. Chris just stands there, and you feel it. We had about 2 weeks before we started shooting where Chris and Ryan were doing page turns of the script and going at maybe 25% speed.
The preparation was more about trying to figure out who the guy was and, you know, how would Chris and I work together when it's so much about the two of us.
And you could see the way that Chris prepares, the way he picks out individual words in a speech and asks what their meaning could possibly be, and it just investigates and explores. And you can see the notes that he takes for himself. Nothing feels random when he speaks. Everything's loaded with meaning.
Agent Hanson, my name is Eric.
No, your name is Clerk. My name is Sir, our boss, if you can manage. What I had to go by was no more than 10 seconds of video just before Hanson was captured. I read 7 or 8 books and the actual Eric O'Neill. I came here and Ryan and I were able to ask a lot of questions. I literally asked Eric, do your best impression of Hanson.
I think Chris did an excellent job of drawing out of me things that I might not have thought of, but had lodged somewhere back in my brain. And the portrayal that he's done has been immensely incredible.
We didn't have to make anything up about Robert Hanson. His story is so compelling, so odd.
People behind his back at FBI would call him Dr. Doom or Dr. Death.
Is there anything you can tell me about him?
Sure. I take nothing personally.
He was a rather boring person. He had no social graces.
Good morning.
Morning. Robert Hanson would walk at angles and he would just drive people into a wall as they were walking. Eric said he didn't know if Robert Hanson was testing him or joking around or what, but it just drove Eric nuts.
Is this your father, sir?
We wanted to think about his relationship with his father, his determination not to appear ever to be a failure. He rigged my first driving test the day I turned 16. Made an arrangement with my DMV instructor.
So you'd pass?
So I would fail. I think he wanted to appear and be a great provider. I think he had a horror, maybe, of being a failure. I wrote a program last night, 612 bits of encryption, completely unbreakable. But you get the office with the window.
What is it about someone that makes them this deceitful? What are the needs that are going on that make someone make these choices?
I think through a lot of frustration of not being listened to,
You don't matter that much.
he ended up doing what he did.
I matter plenty.
I liked the idea of doing something like this with Chris and the opportunity to learn from him as an actor. I'm putting a lot of energy and effort into this part, too, and I think we kind of work similar, kind of quieter, very focused.
Let's see from the top here. Let's see from the top.
My Bonnie's been known to work miracles.
Bobby Hanson.
Chris deeply understands the idea of that kind of betrayal and the humanity of how someone could get that twisted in their mind.
I shouldn't tease you. That just gets me into trouble. God expects you to live your faith at all times.
It's very subtly sculpted work.
Maybe now you'll listen.
It's a sad day for all of us, Bob. No matter what kind of role he plays, there's something sympathetic and likable about him.
I have something for you. It's everything I could get on Parkinson's, downloaded last night.
One of the things that's going to surprise people is that they're going to wind up caring about Robert Hansen.
You know, sir, I think you're misunderstood.
I've come to believe Chris Cooper is probably the best pick for Hansen. He's channeling the guy so well that just watching him act as Hansen has really given me the chills.
There's this enormous interior life going on with this guy, and all these different facets to him. That's very tough to do. And Chris just delivers that.
Probably the most contradictory character I've ever played. One might propose that I am either insanely brave or quite insane. I'd say insanely loyal. Take your pick. There's insanity in all the answers.